Hey everybody, and welcome to the Heart of Geek YouTube channel and another episode of HeadCanon. Now, this is going to be about something that has bothered me since I was probably a teenager, because when I was a kid it didn't really bother me because, you know, when you're a kid you're just like, ooh, cool stuff. And then when you're an adult you kind of just examine things a bit more. And this one's going to be all about the 1978 Superman movie and why Superman's time travel bothers me to no end. Alright, in the first Superman movie with Christopher Reeve, not knocking it, I do have this problem with it, but it's not a bad movie, and I like Christopher Reeve as Superman, it's just nice. But in that movie, Superman, by the end of the movie, fails to be able to stop two missiles from destroying parts of the world. And basically, he gets so frustrated by it that he flies really, really fast and stops the rotation of the Earth and reverses time. Now, you can look at this one or two ways. Either Superman moves backwards across his personal timeline and fixes things, but the way that it looks in this movie with the whole visual deal, that's not what actually happens. He actually reverses the speed of the planet. Like, he stops it, reverses it, stops it again, and lets it go back in its regular speed. But what you don't really think about at that moment, and the fact is, it's kind of nuts, to be able to do that, he has to, one, match the speed of the planet in order to slow it down, and go a little bit past that in order to stop it. Then, when the entire world stops spinning, somehow make sure that tsunamis and weird big tidal waves and stuff do not happen. Then he has to continue to go backwards, then find the point at which he can stop the planet again, and then reset its original trajectory. How can he do that? Like, he would have to practice this numerous times in order to get it right. And he just got frustrated and angry and was able to just do it. I find that completely insane, because you can't just do that world-bending stuff and just do it once and be fine. But in the next 3 movies, he never does it again. Like, crazy stuff is happening and he doesn't go, hey, you know what, that worked. And there were no real consequences. I saved Lois. Everything was good. And that's another thing. Like, he does that whole thing going backwards. Yeah, it stops the earthquakes that stopped Lois from dying in the first place. But that doesn't mean that nobody else on the planet died from anything. Like, it's one of those things, it's like, okay, so you can do this major thing that probably damaged the Earth at some point to save one life. What happens to the entire world 20, 30, 40 years down the line when somehow you broke the planet and things aren't going good? Like, that is crazy to me. He's Superman, he has the ability to do all these things, and he can't just stop for a second, think, and go, oh, this would probably be a better idea. Like, he has all sorts of crazy weird superpowers. This one, he reverses time. There's another one where he grabs the shield off of his chest and throws it at people, and it just messes them up for a second. Like, he has the most weird and overpowered stuff in this thing. And not to mention the fact, now that I'm mentioning it, in Superman 4, The Quest for Peace, he has a piece of his hair in a museum, and then Lex Luthor is able to use that to clone a version of Superman that looks nothing like Superman, has blonde hair but not black, is really buff, has nuclear powers and stuff like that. And not once in that entire thing did Superman go, hey, you know what? If I did my reverse time thing that didn't have any consequences for real in the first movie, I could do that again, go back and stop myself from ever giving them that piece of hair and stop this entire thing from happening. Not once does he even bring it up. Nothing in the second, third, or fourth movie makes any sense, knowing that in the first one, he just was able to fly really fast and change time. Like, that's movie one. And it doesn't really elevate past that. It just gets weird. I'm still trying to figure that one out. They just introduced power. Oh, now Superman has the ability to kiss Lois Lane and make her forget he's Superman. What? It's just they went, oh, how can we write ourselves out of this corner? Oh, just give him a weird unintroduced power that makes no sense and makes him even more overpowered. Okay. They did that a lot. It's really weird. I don't understand it. If you have any reasons why, throw them in the comments, because I don't know. I'm a Superman fan and some of this shit don't make any sense. But legitimately, Superman, his whole time travel thing, if he could do that, even if it was like, oh, somebody, I tried to save them and they died, and I can rewind the clock for 30 seconds and stop it from happening. Okay, sure, introduce something in there that's like, oh, if you do it for more than 5 minutes, it's going to, like, rip the planet in half. Something like that. But it's never, like, set up in the film at all that he can even do this. Then he does it, and then it's never brought up again in the entire canon of Superman. Even in the one recently, the Superman Returns, that's like in between two of the movies, it's never mentioned there either. Like, okay, so, like, not to like, that whole thing is like, okay, Superman uses a power once, never brings it up again. Not only that, but if he did, like, use this power, like, off screen, and he was doing stuff with it, what kind of weird stuff is he doing with that? Is it always like, oh, Lois Lane's in trouble, let me rewind the clock and save only her, and I will only use this power to save this one person that I kind of like, and then eventually fall in love with and stuff? I don't understand it. It's the Lois Lane principle. He's just, like, saving her and that's it. Okay, weird. He has tons of friends over through all of Metropolis, but apparently Lois Lane is the only one who is either clumsy enough to die all the time, or that he actually gives a crap about out of every human on the planet. So, yeah, that's just weird. But yeah, Superman, I like the character, and I'm just like, okay, he only has like 4 human friends. Jimmy Olsen, which is more in the comics than the movies. He's just kind of like a side character in the movies. Lois Lane, and his parents. Like, and he didn't go back in time to stop his parents from doing any weird shit or anything like that. So it's like, okay, Lois Lane, that's it. Okay. Still weird. Yeah, so there's that. And what did happen? Like, what happens if he stopped all of that and it's like, oh, now there are 40-foot tidal waves crashing on every coast along the entire planet? Oh, the moon is 3 inches closer, so the gravitational pull is weird, and now tidal waves are even higher. Just, there's so much stuff that's just based scientifically that would just be, like, weird. Because, I mean, if you're changing the position of the planet and you're going really fast, how are you not knocking it slightly off axis. Is that like, because they show him and he's spinning, he's not just spinning in a straight line. He's spinning at multiple different like angles, and I'm like, is that to make sure that the axial tilt isn't getting all messed up? Is he just trying to compensate? Is he trying to figure it out? Like, it seems a bit late in the game to be like, oh, I hope I don't end up killing a bunch of people to save one just because I don't know how this power works. Seems like that's something you should do small scale before you go like really far back in time. Yeah, it's like 7 minutes or something like that. But I mean, did he have times where he was like, oh, let me see if I can go back for 2 seconds and see what's up? Oh, no major damage there. Let me do it like for 5 seconds. Okay, whatever. Okay, then now it's 15 seconds. No, it's just he did it, and that's a thing, and we're supposed to just deal with it. I know it's a fictional character, and we're in the real world, but if you lived in that universe and Superman just kind of goes, ah, boom, and we're back in time, do you retain memories of the original timeline before he spun things back, and you just have like a really weird deja vu moment where you feel like you did all the stuff you just did before? What happens if you, at the same time that Lois Lane died, and he goes back in time, boom, you're alive, and then you die again? That's not awesome. Like, that's another thing. It's like, okay, you changed everybody's timeline, but you only saved one person. That seems weird. You could legitimately be everywhere at once, essentially. Just save that person, save that person, save that person. But you're only saving the one person you give a crap about? Alright, whatever. But yeah, that's my thoughts on the whole thing. Superman's kind of a jerk for using time travel powers that are completely untested, could possibly break the planet, and only ended up saving one person, really, other than stopping the other missile and doing that stuff. But essentially, he went back and just went, okay, whatever, missile, now I gotta save my girlfriend. But yeah. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you want to see more weird stuff like this, or any of the other stuff that we have going on this channel, go ahead and hit subscribe. If you want to see more stuff, we got podcasts and stuff like that. You can go to our website, theheartofgeek.com, and check some stuff out there. We got podcasts. We got a link to our Heart of Geek Kids edition, which has like Lego builds and board game reviews and stuff. We're going to keep adding more there. But, yeah. I hope to see you back here on the Heart of Geek. But if I don't, I hope you have a great day, a great week, a great month, and a great year. Bye-bye!